Analyzing the best Test batsman of all time involves considering several key aspects like statistical dominance, adaptability across conditions, performances against top teams, match winning capabilities, longevity, and overall influence on the game. While many batsmen have left indelible mark on the history of Test cricket, there are certain names who consistently rise to the top. While each of these batsmen have their own unique strengths and qualities, they all share a common thread. They have consistently performed at the highest level of the game. If you are a cricket fan, this is a must watch. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on who you think deserves a place in the top 5. We are going to take a deep dive and we are going to learn about some of the legendary players as well as some of the modern day maestros. All these cricket icons who have showcased unmatched skill, technique, and consistency at the highest level. Join us as we explore their remarkable careers, their records, and contributions to the sport, especially Test cricket. Making our list at number 5 is the ex-Australian captain Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting was at the top of his game in the 2000. He led the test rankings by a huge number of years during that era. Why I consider Ricky Ponting as the number 5 batsman in the list of top 5 test players of all time is because of his captaincy, his consistency, and the fact that he was a big match player. He led Australia to unprecedented success because of his captaincy. His ability to inspire his team and make tough decisions was crucial. In that era, he was known for his ruthlessness and aggression as a captain. And he was a very consistent player. He was a prolific run scorer. He was capable of adapting to different conditions and bowling attacks. He often stepped up in big matches, delivering crucial innings when his team needed the most. He has played some of the most memorable knocks in the history of Test cricket. Everyone would remember the two double centuries which he scored in consecutive matches at Adelaide and at Melbourne against India. He also scored 100 in his 100 Test match in both the innings against South Africa. He was the epitome of aggression and consistency in that time. So Ricky Ponting definitely deserves to be at number 5 in our list of top test batsmen of all time. Number 4, the South African all-rounder, perhaps the greatest all-rounder of all time, Jacques Kallis. Why Kallis is among the greats? It's because of his batting and all-around ability. He is the greatest all-rounder in the history of cricket, but his batting alone would place him among the top players. His ability to bat for long periods, combined with his defensive technique and mental strength, allowed him to play match-defining innings in Test cricket. His longevity and consistency was also remarkable. Over a 19-year career, Kallis was a consistent performer, scoring 13,289 runs at an average of 55.37. He holds the record for the most centuries by a South African 45, which is also the second most centuries scored in Test cricket by any player. He played many critical innings in difficult situations for South Africa. His calmness and ability to weather tough spells made him one of the hardest batsmen to dismiss. He could adapt to any condition, excelling on fast, bouncy tracks in South Africa and Australia, as well as on spin-friendly surfaces in Asia. He was really the rock for the South African unit and he held them tightly throughout the entire tenure. So, I would say the top 3 abilities because of which Kalish is played at number 4 is because of his all-round excellence, his consistency, and he also led South Africa with distinction, demonstrating his leadership capabilities. Now coming to number 3, Brian Charles Lara. I don't think any list would be complete without adding Brian Lara in that list of great players. Lara is considered one of the best test players of all time. He was a big innings specialist. He is renowned for his ability to score massive runs in a single inning. He holds the record for the highest individual score in Test cricket, 400 not out against England. He also has the highest individual score in first class cricket, 501 not out. His appetite for big innings and ability to bat for long periods made him a very feared batsman. He had great match winning abilities. He often played for a West Indies team that was in decline, but his performances consistently stood out. His 153 not out against Australia in 1999 was considered one of the greatest test innings, which helped the West Indies chase 308 to win by one wicket. He had a very unique batting style. His unorthodox, free flowing style made him one of the most attractive batsmen to watch. His ability to dominate bowlers with exquisite footwork and timing set him apart from many of his contemporaries. He also succeeded against some of the best bowling attacks of his generation, including Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, Alan Donald, Wasim Akram. He was really a nightmare for all of these bowlers. So, the top three factors why I feel Lara deserves to be in the top three is the aesthetic appeal. His batting was a joy to watch. He combined power and elegance. His record breaking innings, his 400 against England, remains one of the greatest innings ever played and is the highest test score even till now. His impact on the game was relentless. His aggressive style of play helped to revive West Indies cricket during a period of decline. He was the only source of attraction and entertainment for all the West Indian fans. Before we drop the number 2 and number 1 on the list, here are some honorable mentions. Kumar Sangakkara and Rahul Dravid, the two backbones of their team in the era of Test cricket. Kumar Sangakkara was one of the most elegant and flair-full batsmen of all time. He was such a great player to watch. He was always standing up for the Sri Lankan squad along with Mahela Jayawardene. He was the backbone for the Sri Lankan players. He was a testament, and his greatness can't be understated. He played some of the finest knocks in Australia against Australia, where all the Sri Lankan players struggled. He also scored some of his best innings, some of his best knocks against the South African side, which had great bowling lineup. Rahul Dravid, obviously the wall of Indian cricket. His defensive technique was flawless. He had some of the most crucial knocks for India in Test cricket against some of the most lethal bowling attacks. He, along with Sachin Tendulkar, were really the backbone of Indian cricket during that time. Dravid's ability to bat for long periods of time and dominate the game was unmatched. No one was really able to match Dravid's heroics in Test cricket because of his defensive appeal and the sound technique that he produced. These are the two honorable mentions that I wanted to place here. And now we are going to come to number 2 on the list. The god of cricket, the undisputed legend Sachin Tendulkar. His longevity and volume speak for themselves. His career spanned 24 years in Test cricket from 1989 to 2013. He played 200 Test matches, the most by any player. He holds the record for the most runs in Test cricket, 15,921, and also the most centuries, 51, which are both testament to his longevity and consistency. His ability to succeed in various conditions was remarkable. He excelled on the fast bouncy pitches of Australia and South Africa as well as on the turning tracks of India and Sri Lanka. He adapted his game according to the opposition and the surface. His performance against top teams of his era, especially Australia, was exceptional. His twin centuries at the Sydney Cricket Ground in 1992 and his Desert Storm innings in 1998, albeit in ODIs, highlight his ability to rise in crucial moments. Tendulkar carried the hopes of over a billion fans, playing most of his career under immense pressure as India's batting linchpin. His ability to maintain composure and deliver despite the enormous weight of expectations set him apart from his contemporaries. So I would say that longevity, versatility, and the long-lasting legacy that he has left on the game are the three most crucial reasons why he can't be placed any lower than number two on the list. Now we are going to showcase the number one test batsman of all time, the greatest, Sir Don Bradman. Unprecedented average. His career batting average of 99.94 remains the highest in the history of Test cricket. And this is something that is unlikely to be surpassed ever. His ability to maintain this level across a career that included interruptions due to World War II is a testament to his dominance. He played 52 Test matches and scored 29 centuries. Unbelievable. He reached three figures nearly once every three innings. His ability to produce big innings, including two triple centuries, was unrivaled. His influence on the game and his legacy goes beyond his stats. His aggressive yet technically sound style revolutionized batting, and his consistency underlined Australia's dominance in 1930s and 1940s. Bradman succeeded against some of the finest bowlers of his time, including England's legendary bowling attacks. His famous 334 at Headingley in 1930 came under testing conditions and remains one of the greatest individual performances in cricket. So, dominance, his average of 99.94, his technical prowess, and his impact on the game makes Sir Donald Bradman the greatest test batsman of all time. His legacy is untouchable due to the sheer weight of his numbers and impact on the sport. So that's it from today's video. Hope you liked the content. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.